Hello and welcome back, RBG family. Today we are in the RBG kitchen. Today we will be doing a cook along. We are going to be doing chicken stew, what we like to call in Spanish pollo guisado. So we have the ingredients here in front of you guys, so let's go ahead and discuss them. So in the right side we have grape juice, and I'll tell you why in a second. Following that, we have our sofrito, and I am running low on the sofrito, so soon in the channel you will see how this household does our sofrito recipe. So I will be bringing you guys a video, so stay tuned for that. We have our tomato sauce from Goya. We have about 4 potatoes that I will be peeling shortly. Behind that, we have our chicken, which have already been cleaned. It's been ridden of all its skin and as much fat that I can take off of it. We have our seasonings: Goya sazonador total, nor sazon con achote and color. We have granulated garlic. Then we have adobo con sazon, la flor. We have ground oregano, ground black pepper, and bay leaf. That is new. You guys have never seen me use that before, but I do love to use that in any of my stews, also soups, and some of my bean recipes. Next to that, we have our rice. This is a jasmine rice. We're going to be doing arroz blanco today, white rice. That has already been rinsed once under cold water. Next to that, we have my tried and true corn oil masola. That is only going to be used in the white rice. And we have our staples here, our cucharons. We need 2, one for the rice and one for the stew. My gloves, because you know my OCD, can't touch any meat bare hands. So what we are going to be doing, the main staple here today is going to be the pollo guisado, the chicken stew. You guys have seen me do white rice plenty of times. If you've watched any of my videos, you can go ahead and look at any of them. I will show you bits and pieces here, but the main focus today is going to be the chicken stew. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into this and bring you step by step. So let's rock and roll. So before we begin with the pollo guisado, I just wanted to let you guys know that all the chicken that I am currently cooking, it was the chicken that I hauled in one of the Western beef hauls a while back. Hopefully you guys have already enjoyed and watched that video. I was able to vacuum seal it using my food saver vacuum sealer in conjunction with the food saver bags. This combination here is phenomenal. I've been using it for many years, and I get my bags in Amazon, and I get them by the rolls, and I just cut them to what I need, the size, do the seal, fill, vacuum seal it, and put it in my deep freezer if I'm not going to be using it immediately, or if I think I'm going to be using it pretty soon, then I put it in my regular freezer. But yeah, this combination is amazing. If you guys want to go ahead and look into it, I got my food saver many years ago. I think my husband got it for me, so I don't know where he got it, or I think I got it at QVC. Guys, don't come for me because mine is scrambled. But the food saver bags I do pick up at Amazon, and I think it's an amazing deal. So yeah, let's get back to cooking. Okay, so while I was introducing you guys to everything that I had here, I already had both of my pots boiling. As you can see with the steam, it was already going. So this pot that I have here is from Ninja. My husband actually got it for me. I think it's 7 quarts. It's pretty big, and it holds a lot of food. Way bigger than what my family needs, but this thing is awesome. I've had it for a couple of years and I love it. So when I'm doing like stews and stuff like that, I actually go for this one. I have the chicken here, And this is what we're gonna go ahead and do. So, you know, this is pretty much what it looks like. I mean, if you guys don't like to see raw meat, so just look away for a second. But this is pretty much what I'm telling you when I like stripped it from as much stuff that I could, you know, what's mean stuff, I mean like fat and skin and all that good stuff. So this amount of meat is going to give me enough stew for probably 2 to 3 days. Because remember, we're a family of four, and when I mean four, it's 4 adults. And 4 adults with only 3 of us eating stew, because my son dislikes stews. He says it's a texture issue. He doesn't like anything squishy or soft. I don't know. Both of my children choose to pick and want what they eat, so it is what it is. And yeah, got my gloves. Don't like touching anything raw. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the lid off. And at this point, I have nothing in my water, and I'm just gonna go ahead and just put the meat in one by one, because I don't want to get splashback of any of the water. And it's just gonna boil there. Pretty much I like to cook it a little bit because the meat sometimes likes to give off I guess, I don't want to use the word but you know, likes to give off some residue. That's the word that I'm going to use. And I like to skim that off with the cucharon before I add anything else. So I guess I like to boil the meat a little bit and just skim off residue, skim off some oil or grease, and then I like to add my seasonings. And I'll bring you back in that process. All right, so now I have the meat in the pot, in the ninja pot, and now we're over here at the caldero with the cucharon. I told you, these guys, they don't take vacation. So we are in the process of making the arroz blanco, and it's already washed and it's in this glass bowl. And I am loving my transition, guys. I will bring you guys, it's gonna be another video on cleaning up probably one of my cabinets. I'm trying to get rid of all my plastic bowls. I like the weight to these guys. I like the aesthetic to them, and the fact that I am tired of all my plastic bowls being stained, whether it's by spaghetti, by stew, or even by my dishwasher. So yeah, I'm just so excited. I did a massive haul of glass bowls and they're so pretty. But anyways, that's not what we're here. So let's go ahead and do this arroz blanco. So my water is hot, as you can see by the steam. It's been on high heat. Now I have it at medium. It's about medium high. It's about 6-7 in the number scale. So I'm just gonna pretty much dump it in. Now glass bowls, they're heavy, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the cucharon and I'm just gonna scoop it in, because I don't want to drop it and the water's gonna splash back into my face. That's a no. Now I'm doing this again just in case if nobody has watched any of the videos that I have done before. I know I said in the beginning of the video that I wasn't gonna show it, but I'll do it one more time for you guys. Alright, so at this point we're just gonna add all of the rice. And if I didn't say it in the beginning, which I don't recall if I did, this is 3 cups of rice. And when I say cups, it's not cups like in 8 ounces. So if we want to convert it, I can't do math that quick in my head. I'm not that smart, people. It's 3 jars, 3 mason jars, and those are 16 ounces each. So what is it, 6 cups? I can't, guys. So now that all the rice is in there, I'm gonna go ahead and just move it to make sure that none of it clumps up, because nobody wants clumpy rice, right? Now everybody does their rice different. and that's okay. This is the way my mom taught me how to make rice. Now some people do like certain cups of rice to certain cups of water ratio. I wasn't taught that way. I was taught to like boil my water first and then put the rice into the water. Now this water already has been salted and I already tasted to make sure that the salt was right. I don't like my rice like, salted, like, to good salt. I prefer it undersalted, because it's a stew that we're making and that's going to be added to this. So I prefer it under salt than at right taste, if that makes any sense to any of you guys. The trick that my mom taught me when I was little, or when I was at age of cooking, is that the water level, and I'll show it to you in a second. If once you rest the cucharon down on the caldero, and if the water level reaches to this right here, to this level right here, then that means that your rice has enough water and it should come out nice and soft. And that's what I do with all of my rice, whether it's white rice, arroz blanco, arroz con gandules, arroz con habichuela, any rice, whatever rice, arroz con salchicha, arroz con maíz, whatever rice I'm doing, that is the rule of thumb that I follow. I don't follow any ratio, 2 cups to 4 cups. I don't follow that ratio. So that's what my mom has always taught me. That's what she taught me, and that's what I've always followed, and I always get soft, fluffy rice. Now here and there, sometimes it can be a little goof and you'll get like a little mushy rice, and that's fine too. Sometimes we like it here that way. Now I'm just gonna add some corn oil, and you don't want to add too much. You just want to add a sprinkle, just to make sure that you get a nice texture. Now, depending on your caldero, you might get what us Puerto Ricans call pegao. Some other countries call it con con. I know my husband is from Dominican Republic and he calls it con con, and that thing is delicious. We call it pegao on Puerto Rican. And that thing is amazing, especially with what we're making with stew or with beans, with the juguito from the beans. It is phenomenal. So yeah, so this is all that we have to the rice pretty much right now, is just to let the water evaporate, the water and the oil evaporate. So I'm just gonna raise the flame all the way to high. The water is going to evaporate. Now, what I like to do, not everybody does this. Like I said, everybody has their way to make rice. What I like to do is, while the water evaporates, I go moving my rice, to make sure that every single kernel, I guess, gets a little bit of oil, gets a little bit of water. And as you can see, it starts rising, not rising because it's not bread, but it starts like growing, like expanding, I guess is the better word. As it starts absorbing that water. And then once all the water absorbs into the rice with the oil, what you do is, I just like to I guess tuck it in or mound it up a little bit, and then you just put the lid on it, lower the flame down to the lowest possible, and then you just wait. Now my white rice probably takes, on this stove, because every stove is different, my white rice on this stove takes about 20 minutes to completely cook, and it's the fastest thing that I can cook on this stove. Now my kids love this rice with anything. They love it with anything and everything that I cook. I mean, when I'm saying, what do you guys want me to cook? And they will, lost the top there, and they will tell me, Mom, white rice. And I'm like, okay, with what? I don't care, just make sure it's white rice. So, It's just, it is what it is. So as you can see, I don't know, oh yeah, you guys can see it's starting to completely evaporate. You can see the bubbles as they're forming on the sides. And I like to move it because if not, it'll like stick to the corners, and I don't like that. I mean, it'll eventually stick to the corners. That's how you get your pegao, right? So you do like that. But I just keep moving it and moving it. I don't want to, usually I like to get rid of it like that, but I don't want to, hit it too much on the caldero because I don't want to make too much noise in your guys' ears. But that's pretty much the process, guys, and it's almost to where I want it to be, where the water is completely evaporated and the meat over there is going, guys. I'm about to remove the residues that I was telling you guys, the little grease and all that other stuff. And this is what I love about this, like cooking is so therapeutic. I don't know, I call it therapeutic for me because it's like, I'm alone in the kitchen and it's just me. Well, now it's me and you guys. Now it's me and my friends, my YouTube family. So you see how I tell you guys that I just kind of like compress everything. I kind of just bring it into the middle. Like I like to call it, I just settle it down. It's like I'm putting frosting on a cake. That's pretty much the best way that I can describe it. I settle it down. And just like that. It's like lessons on baking, right? And just like that, it's all done. I come get the lid. I lower it down as low as I can go. And in this stove, she's a little finicky, this burner in the front. So the lowest I can go on this burner in the front is number 2. And at that point, we are done with the rice. It's going to sit there for about 20 to 25 minutes, more on the 20. And then we just come back, we fluff it up, and she's ready. While she's going, we're going to move over to the chicken. Alright guys, so here we are at the chicken. So you see all that brown stuff and all that stuff. So now we're going to grab another cucharon and we are going to just literally take all that stuff off. This is why I like to just boil the chicken a little bit before I add any of my seasonings and anything offhand first, because I like to just take all that stuff off. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. Another cucharon. And another bowl. The bowl where the rice was at. I went ahead and cleaned it up. And now we're just taking all that stuff off. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to do this. And when I'm done, I'll bring you back so I can show you how better it looks. Alright guys, I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but it looks a lot better now. And look at all the yuckiness. Nothing out of there. Yuck, 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 yuck. No, I was able to get a lot of grease out, which is good. I mean, it still has some grease, but, you know, listen, it's much less now. So I'm happy where it's at right now. So we're going to go ahead and move forward with adding my seasonings. Okay, so we're going to start off with one nice big spoon or cucharon of sofrito. And that looks right about. And we're just going to go right into the pot with that. And that's going to cool down the temperature of the water. So it's going to stop boiling. Well, it's going to stop it from heaping boiling. Just gonna wait for it to bring it back to that extreme boiling temperature in a second. I like to let that sit in there with it for a little bit and let it come back to a rolling boil before I add in anything else. And that happens pretty quickly. In the interim, I'm gonna go ahead and peel the potatoes and cut them so I can get them ready. So now we're going to do the Goya tomato sauce. And here I just eyeball it. Just like to do a couple of splatters here and there. From there, I just start adding my seasonings, and we're gonna start off with the lights. We're gonna start off with bay leaf. Here I don't like to do too much, and as you can see, it's not like they're whole bay leaves, they're a little cut up, so I can do no more than 3. I mean, since they're tiny and cut up, so I'll throw 3 in there. I'm gonna follow that up with ground black pepper. Not too much, because if not, it's going to be spicy on you. You don't want that. Ground oregano. Granulated garlic. Garlic lovers in this household, so you're gonna see a lot of this here. Don't judge, guys, don't judge. From there, we're gonna go to the adobo con sazon, la flor, and this guy also, we like to put a hefty amount. And we're gonna leave this guy outside. We're gonna set him to the side, because later on we're gonna taste this once it's had a little bit to settle down, and if it needs anything else, what we're gonna use to season it a little bit more is going to be that la flor adobo con sazon. Goya sazonado el total, and we're almost done with this guy, so we're just gonna put the whole thing in. And the last thing, but not least, once it comes to seasoning, is the sazon nor, and this is con culantro y achote, and this is going to not only go in for flavor, it's also going to go in for color, and I'm adding 4 little packages of these guys. So just open it and just throw it in. This is what I love of stews, guys. You know, it's like one of those, I like to call it my instant pot, or what is it? I think it's instant pot, right? I don't know. Y'all correct me on the comment section below, but it's like one of those set it and forget it kind of things, you know, that you throw everything in the pot and you just, you know, come back 8 hours and you're done. But I mean, not the stove, don't do that. It's gonna burn your house. But you know, it's like, you know, you throw everything in the pot and you just kind of walk away, come a couple of minutes or a couple hours later, and you check on it and it's almost done. You know what I'm saying? So I just took the cucharon, just moved everything to make sure that everything is incorporated, and at this point I'm just gonna let it simmer to make sure that all those flavors incorporate with each other. I went ahead and peeled and cut the potatoes. I actually added another potato, so I have a total of 5 potatoes, because the other little 4, once I peeled it, they looked a little puny. So I added an extra so I can get a little oomph in this. So yeah, so this is the process that we are at currently. We're gonna let that simmer and marinate in its own juices and the seasonings. We're gonna clean up a little bit on this kitchen, because we cook and clean, because I don't like cooking in a mess. And yeah, we will bring you back when we're quite almost done. Okay, so this is where we are at this point. Don't let that clock fool you, even though you guys are probably seeing it backwards, or once this uploads you might be seeing it right side. I haven't changed it. It is actually 7 o'clock. You know, we sprung forward here on the eastern side, so you know, I am in New York, so it is actually 7:02. So the actual stew has reduced, and I already did a taste test, and I added a little bit of the sazon la flor. So since the chicken is pretty much cooked, it is literally fork tender, or like what I like to say fall off the bone, which is the way we like to eat it here. We're gonna go ahead and add the potatoes because you guys, I mean, I hope you guys know. If y'all don't, y'all learn. Potatoes cook really quick, especially in this rolling boil that we have here. So we're gonna go ahead and add the potatoes, and at the same time we're going to add the grape juice. So this is why my mom calls this, and I call it as well, pollo fricase, because of the grape juice. Now, some people might add wine, which might probably do the same thing. Grape juice, if you ferment it, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong in the comment section below. Comes out to be the same stuff. So this is going to kind of make it a little bit of a sweet savory, because the grape juice is going to make it a little bit sweet, which is why I think my daughter actually loves this. I don't have a measurement of how much grape juice I add. I just pretty much eyeball it. So as you saw already, this sauce is on the orange to red color. Once I add the grape juice, it's going to turn a little bit darker, kind of like burgundy-ish, I guess, if you will. So I just literally just splash in, you know, almost the whole bottle. And then what I'll do is off camera is I will go in there with the good old cucharon and combine everything, make sure that all the potatoes are underneath the liquid so they can cook in a little bit quicker. And then as I do with my beans, I will mash up some of the potatoes and reincorporate it in there to use them as a thickening agent, so it can thicken my liquid. And then from there, it's plating time. We're gonna move over to the rice, as I have not uncovered it, but it is well cooked. I just have not uncovered it because if my meat is not ready, why bother the rice? But let me bring you over there so I can show you how to fluff it. Okay, so we are here at the caldero. We're just gonna lift it up and look at all that steam that was underneath there. Put this over here to the side. You don't want anybody to get burned. And it's literally the same. As you can see, no lie to you, I did not even touch this thing from when we put it down to do its thing. And I just literally use the cucharon that we were using for the rice, because you don't want to cross anything, as you're using that for meat and this for rice. And we're just gonna literally just go right in, and as you can see, it is completely cooked. Now, I always make a mess when I move my rice. It starts getting all over the stove, so don't judge me. But like I said, a working stove is a messy stove. If it's too clean, you ain't using it. No, I'm just lying. It gets cleaned up at night. So I just come in here. I like to start in the middle, and then I work my way towards the out. And look at all that steam, guys. And look at this. This is rice that is to perfection. It is nice and soft, and it's just incredibly fluffy, nice and soft. And I literally just work around and just maneuver it completely so I can break that barrier that was there. And that's pretty much it. That's all there is to white rice. Now remember, it is jasmine rice, so it does have a little hints of flavor to the jasmine. But that's it, guys. And I mean, those three cups of mason jars filled up this small caldero, and this is more than enough for us. My son will be eating this rice with leftover chicken from yesterday that we did in the air fryer, and we put some barbecue sauce on that. So this will be more than enough rice for today and for tomorrow. So that pretty much tells you something. And I love anything that I can cook once and have enough for another day. So it's like I'm cooking one day and have enough for 2 or 3 days. Who doesn't love that? It's just time crunching because now I can do another chore tomorrow. For example, today I cooked and I did laundry. So now tomorrow I can do something else that's on the list, and we all know they're quite long. So now I just put the top right back on since the chicken is almost quite done, and we're just gonna go ahead and turn the stove off. If you choose to, for example, if your meat is not quite up to the rice, you can still leave it on the low heat, but we're almost done over there. It's pretty much just the potatoes to be cooked, and then the liquid to be thickened with the potatoes, and that's not gonna take that long. So I'm gonna go ahead and, like I already did, turn off the rice because it's going to maintain its temperature. So we're gonna wait on the chicken, and then I'll bring you guys back over when I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to thicken the liquid, if you guys have not already seen that. Okay, so this has really simmered down completely. I went ahead and gave it a taste test, and it tastes amazing. Just the right taste once it comes to sweet and salty. I went ahead and removed about 6 to 8 cube potatoes and mashed them up just like if you were mashing up potatoes. Now I'm gonna go ahead and reintroduce them into the mixture, and that's going to thicken up whatever juices are already in there without me adding any more, because obviously that's not what you want. I'm gonna go ahead and incorporate this, and guys, the meat is so soft to the point that I really don't want to move this around too much because it's just not gonna stay on there. If I can lift one of these guys up, I mean, like, look at this. Look at this. It's just perfection. It's beautiful. That's what it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this maybe 5 more minutes so that mashed potato, if you will, could go ahead and incorporate in with whatever liquid it's in there, and just thicken up just ever so slightly, because I don't want it too thick, because I just want it just to grab onto the rice and just coat it up. I mean, literally, like I'm telling you, listen, look at that. And some of it down there has already broken down to the consistency that it's no longer on the bone, and I really don't mind it because those bits and pieces of meat go so good with the rice that you don't even have to like go at the actual bone and meat, because it's just right on the rice, and it's just the perfect bite. Oh my god, I am so hungry, and it smells so delicious in this kitchen. It's ridiculous. So let's go ahead and wait till this simmers down a little bit, and guys, the next shot is it being plated up. So let's give it a few and we will be right back. All right, guys, there you have it. This kitchen is done and everybody is hungry. You have white rice jasmine with chicken stew and a side of aguacate. So arroz blanco con pollo fricasé y aguacate al lado. Mi gente, es delicioso. My people, delicious. It smells wonderful in this kitchen, and I am hungry. This is currently my plate. I will throw some pictures at the end of the video so you can see a couple of versions of everybody's plate. I'll take pictures of my plate here. And guys, there you have it. This is the end. We are going to part ways because I have to feed everybody. So in true RBG fashion, guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share our videos so that YouTube knows that we are creating amazing content, that you guys are loving and enjoying the content that we are creating, and so that we may grow in this platform. And as always, guys, we love you, and we will see you on our next video. Bye.